Hey, and welcome to our talk show of fantasy football.
I'm Wyeth,
I'm Max.
and today we're going to be doing running back rankings. As you can see on the screen, our rankings are fairly similar, but there are some surprises.
So we both have Le'Veon Bell at number 1, obvious reasons. He's the best all-around running back in the league.
But at 2, I have Todd Gurley and Max is David Johnson. And Max has Todd Gurley all the way at number 6, so
The reason behind that is I feel like Todd Gurley won't have as strong of a season as last season, and that's mainly due to the fact that they signed Brandon Cooks. I feel like Brandon Cooks will get a lot more attention, meaning Goff will be throwing a lot more and redo.
Yeah, I could see him getting a little less catches. Number 3, I got Zeke, and he's got Kamara. That's understandable. Number 4, I've got David Johnson, and Max has Melvin, and he's got Melvin ahead of Zeke, so...
Yeah, so Melvin Gordon, he had such a strong start to his season last year, despite a couple games that weren't top-notch. But towards the end of the season, Austin Eckler got a little bit more of the attention, and that kind of took away from Melvin a little bit. But I feel like this year, coming back, Melvin Gordon is going to just be stronger and better, and I feel like he will take control of the offense, and he will lead the Chargers to a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think he finished the season strong, and the Chargers as a team also finished the season strong. So I think he's just going to continue that next year. That's why I have him at number 6. I think he'll do better than Fournette and Barkley. I think Barkley is a little overhyped because
I agree.
I'm never a fan of rookie running backs coming just straight out of college. I'm just never a fan of that because you never really know how they're going to do.
And you can't really predict their stats based on that, like he's saying. So even though Kareem Hunt had a great season last year and the year before Zeke had a great rookie season, even Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette had great seasons last year until Dalvin Cook got hurt. You still don't want to take that big of a risk with someone like Barkley on a team that will need to be passing a lot because they'll be behind in so many games.
I think he'll still definitely be good, top 10, top 12.
Top fantasy worthy.
I don't think he'll be top 5 like ESPN's ranking him. I just think he's being a little overhyped. He'll still be good, but just not how he's being hyped.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I have him as my number 12, even though Wyatt has him as his number 8.
McCaffrey, you got McCaffrey at number 9.
Yeah, so last season he started to do a lot better towards the end of the season when he got more attention. And now without Jonathan Stewart as his co-running back, I feel like he will take a bigger lead. Though they did sign C.J. Anderson as a backup, he's not going to even come close to the amount of touches that Christian McCaffrey will get. And that's why I have McCaffrey at number 9.
I got Devontae Freeman number 9. A lot of sites have him ranked a lot lower, 12, 13 ranked, but I got him at number 9 because he's Devontae Freeman, and he's always finished around that 9-10 mark the past 2 years, and I think he's going to continue that.
Both of us have Leonard Fournette as a number 7 running back. He had a strong season last season. I feel like he'll just build on top of that. I feel like Wyatt will agree with me on that one a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, and then my number 8, he has Barkley, I have Dalvin Cook.
What do you think about Dalvin Cook?
So I feel like he got kind of ripped off once he got hurt last season. He was one of the best running backs to start off the season until he was injured. And despite them having Latavius Murray as another running back, which could take away from Cook's attention, I still feel like Cook will take the main lead on that team and be a strong running back in this fantasy year.
Yeah, I have Dalvin Cook a little bit lower because I think they're going to be cautious with bringing him back just because he's just coming off the ACL injury, and I think Latavius is going to take a few of the carries away at the beginning of the year. So I think he'll do not so great at the beginning of the year, but then as he progresses, he'll get stronger as the year goes on. That's why I have him at number 12 rather than a little bit higher because I just think Latavius is going to steal some of his carries, especially maybe at the goal line. Number 10 and 11, we both have LaShawn McCoy and Kareem Hunt.
He has Kareem Hunt first. I have Kareem Hunt second.
And
that's pretty reasonable. We both ranked Kareem Hunt lower than how he turned out last season. We both feel like he will slightly decrease in production next season. Despite having a new quarterback that probably won't throw as much as Alex Smith being a rookie, Kareem Hunt now has Spencer Ware starting to become healthy again, which won't take away too much of his attention, but it'll still take away a little bit on top of Kareem just not being able to produce as much as the previous season.
Yeah, and also he regressed a lot as the year went on last year. He just started out so strong and regressed, so I don't really see him being top 5 again. Number 13, I got Joe Mixon, and I think this is the year Joe Mixon breaks out. He finally breaks out. And I think the Bengals, I don't think they'll be a great team, but I think Joe Mixon will be one of the lone bright spots for that team. I just see him breaking out this year. I just got a feeling.
Yeah, I have him as my number 18. Yes, now that he won't have Jeremy Hill as competition at that running back spot, he does still have Gio Bernard, but Bernard's kind of gone downhill over the years. Mixon, it is his chance to shine. He is the starter now. And other than him on the offense, they have A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert. Other than that, their offense isn't that stacked, as well as Andy Dalton not being an elite quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So for those reasons, Joe Mixon should have a pretty high standing season. However, I put him as my number 18 because I just don't feel like he'll be as strong as Wyeth's predicting.
I think he also has some bust potential as well as some breakout potential, just based on his personality, I guess. And then
he's a little overconfident in a way. Yeah. He kind of mimics the way that Le'Veon Bell plays, and he can't match it. And when you try to be a patient running back without as good of an offensive line, nor being as skilled at it and confident in it, it won't work out as well for him.
All right, 14 through 17, we pretty much have the same exact players, just in different orders. Jordan Howard, I think he'll have a decent year, just like he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq Cohen could take away a little bit, but I don't see him taking away too much. Derrick Henry, I think if he didn't have Dion Lewis on his team, he definitely is top 10 potential, but he'll definitely still get the goal line carries, even with Dion Lewis on the team. But
I still feel like Henry will get a lot more carries during the game without having DeMarco Murray on his team. That's pretty much given. Dion Lewis will take away from Derrick Henry's receiving stats, but overall, Henry should be a top 20 running back, top 15.
And then Jerick McKinnon, I think he'll definitely be a lot better now that he kind of has an open backfield. He does have Matt Breida to take away a little bit, but he's pretty much the main running back on San Francisco. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will like him in a lot of ways, running the ball and for receiving. I think he'll get a good amount of rushing touchdowns and a good amount of receiving touchdowns.
Yes, and Niners should have a very strong offense this season. Garoppolo just going to build on top of what he's been doing. So all around their offense is pretty, in a way, stacked, kind of just, average offense that'll produce pretty well, and Jerick McKinnon will be a big part of that.
Number 17, both have Derrius. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, so
Juice.
Should we go to look it up? How to pronounce Derrius?
So a common one that we've seen is Juice. Really powerful, very flexible. People love to use this.
That's our boy Juice.
All right, we're going with Juice.
All right, so at number 17, we both have Derrius Juice, rookie running back on Washington.
I mean, he has high potential. A lot of people are hiring him this year. His only competition for touches is Chris Thompson, who probably just coming in on passing downs. And Chris Thompson also has a tendency to get injured, so Juice he's in line for a lot of touches, especially at the goal line, so I expect a good year from him.
Yeah, and as Wyeth was saying with those injuries, he's coming into this training camp injured, Chris Thompson that is. So Derrius Juice is getting the most attention right now in training camp, practicing first-team reps.
Great. At 18, I have McCaffrey, which is much lower.
That's my number 9.
Which is much lower than Max Adam. I think with C.J. Anderson coming in, I think he's going to steal a lot of touches from McCaffrey, especially maybe at the goal line, because C.J.'s more of a power back, and McCaffrey's not. He's just more elusive, and he usually is the guy that gets the catches, and I just think C.J. will take away at the goal line and in other situations. I just think McCaffrey will be a little lower than what people are expecting. Right. Both got Kenyon Drake at number 19. They added Frank Gore to that team, and I think he'll take away a little bit, but not too much.
And Dolphins all-around offense. I mean, Ryan Tannehill is coming back, but Tannehill, I feel like is a little bit underrated in a way. I feel like his potential is higher up than people think. So for Kenyon Drake getting the attention on the Dolphins, if you look at their receiving core, Miami's got Amendola, who's going to have a pretty nice season, having the main role there, other than Edelman taking away from him from the Patriots. He's got Kenny Stills and Devontae Parker. So those receivers aren't top-notch receivers, and for that reason, I feel like Kenyon Drake will have a little bit breakout season, especially with Ryan Tannehill as the quarterback, which could throw it, but I feel like he'll just hand the ball off a lot, putting his trust in Drake.
20 got Alex Collins. He had a pretty solid year last year. I think he finished around there 20. I think he'll do about that again. He wasn't outstanding,
21.
but the Ravens do have kind of a crowded backfield. They got Javorius Allen and they got Kenneth Dixon, but I still think Alex Collins will get the goal line carries, so he'll get the touchdowns. But I don't think he'll be great. He'll be around 20.
And for me, I didn't even have Alex Collins in my top 20, let alone top 25. The reason behind that is Ravens, I feel like they're going to go downhill this season. Their offense, they have like big name players, say Michael Crabtree, Joe Flacco, who's not elite, and this guy Alex Collins, who last season did finish number 21 in PPR. I just feel like overall the Ravens offense won't be producing that much. In that case, we'll need to throw the ball a lot. So I'm not looking at Alex Collins to be reliable this season.
All right, so that's all our rankings for non-PPR running backs. Now we're going to go into PPR running backs. It's probably not that much of a difference, but it'll be a little bit of a difference. So as you can see on the screen, the non-PPR next to the PPR, it's pretty much the same. Obviously, Alvin Kamara is going to be a little bit higher because he had 81 catches last year, so that's 81 extra points.
And that's with Mark Ingram next to him at the running back. But without Mark Ingram there the first few weeks due to suspension, Alvin Kamara will get a lot more attention and a lot more receiving yards as well as all-purpose yards.
And then David Johnson, he gets a lot of catches. He didn't really play last year, but the year before we had over 1,000 yards receiving, so I think he'll definitely get a lot of catches again this year.
For me, my PPR compared to non-PPR, if you look at my number 8 and 9, I've switched McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook, and that reason is because McCaffrey got so many catches last season. He got 80 catches last season, and that's despite not having much action the first few weeks of the season. So yeah, I have McCaffrey ahead of Cook just because I feel like McCaffrey will get a lot more attention now that he's that sole running back on the Panthers.
I did move up McCaffrey a little bit to number 15 from 18 because he had 80 catches last year, so that's 80 extra points. I moved up Jerick McKinnon also because he's been a receiving back. He was mainly a receiving back for the Vikings, and he'll get a lot of attention from Jimmy Garoppolo. Other than that, it didn't really change much. Derrius Guice moved down a little bit because Chris Thompson's going to hit mostly the passing downs, but other than that, everything's pretty much the same. Nothing that much different.
Now, I did switch around Jared McKinnon and Jordan Howard, and the reason behind that is McKinnon is more of a receiving back than Howard, in my opinion. If you look at their last year's stats, Jared McKinnon had 51 catches, while Jordan Howard only had 23. So he over doubled the amount of catches he had, let alone Howard might not have as strong of a season as last year, in my opinion, anyway. So that's why I'm putting McKinnon ahead of Howard in PPR. All right, and that'll be all for today for the running back rankings for our fantasy 2018 season. Thank you for watching.